guard and bumper and everything was brown. Man, it's a slick-looking truck, but my wife told me 3 times when I was looking at that, she said, "Are you sure you don't want a red one? Are you sure?" And I said, no, I want this one, because at the time our camper was that color scheme, and it really did look like a nice rig going down the road. And I bought that thing. We were going down the road 2 or 3 weeks later, and I don't even know if I had the permanent plates on that truck yet. And somebody pulled up beside us in a real brand new red shiny Ford, and I'm sitting there staring it down like it was a hot woman, and she reached over and punched me in the arm. She said, "Don't you even look at it."
Ferrari red. There is a color officially known as Ferrari red.
Absolutely, there is.
They got a new color. Ford has a new color out this year called Marsh Gray, and man, it's pretty slick. And we got my son a truck for graduation, and that's what he got. Man, it's a good looking ride.
Yeah, Johnson, I agree with you about that. There's a lot of white trucks that's just plain white, or it's just a white truck, and then they wrap that top of it, some wrap, some paint, but most of them are just a wrap. They'll put that black top on there, and man, it makes those trucks look good.
Yeah, it really does. I had a guy live right down the street from me, a few houses. He had one of those that kind of gray, that new Ford color, that grayish blue looking stuff. He had a truck that color with a black top, and it looked really good, man. But I look at that stuff and I think, boy, that looks pretty. But then when I get really ready to think about buying another one, which I'm getting pretty close to it, I think, man, I better just stick with my red.
And 5CWM on the 30.
KG5 in man.
K1LSB.
KD0CDP.
K5 KFC.
And 5 DUP.
Well, Mark, did they get a hoot to get gas mileage?
You talking to me?
No, it's something to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh. Well, spit that chewing tobacco out so we can understand you.
Well, I ain't got no chewing tobacco here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did. "28 days of over 100 so far this year, but we've had a lot more of them than that. We've had more intense summers than this. It's just that we're in the dog days of summer right now, and it's always like this. The good news is I laugh my tail off when I read on Facebook those people down in Austin. I get a lot of those posts, because I came from there. I have family there and stuff, so whatever. Facebook sends me those. All the Californians bitching about the heat and the insects. Top 10 reasons to go back to California, and it's always the heat, and the next one's the insects.
I'll go help them with that.
Well, they need to load up the buggy and head back to California. All I can tell you, we ain't lost nothing.
Don't think that they don't hear that.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's a wonder there's not a line of folks there ready to help them pack.
Oh, there is, even in Austin.
No, but y'all are right. There was a summer, probably 3-4 summers ago. It was brutal, man. And it's hot. It's hot every summer. It's just summer in Texas, but and you get tired of it. I'm tired of it now. I told my guys the other day, because we're crazy busy at work. It's insane. And I said, I'm tired of being busy in the summertime. I'm ready to be busy for a little while in the winter. That warehouse is miserable, but it's like that every year. But yeah, it was. I don't know, man. It was sometime within the last 5 years, it was just one of the most brutal summers I remember, man.
I think it was 2022, Jonathan and Mark, the summers that we're referring to. That was the year that we got fiber to the home here for our internet, and the guys that Taylor Telecom, that's a co-op, a telephone co-op, but they also do internet, so they call that part of their business Taylor Telecom, telephone company. Anyway, But they bored my from the street under, you know, it was about a I don't know, 250-foot bore, and when they bored under my driveway right to where they stopped before the house, they wrecked all the not all but most of my irrigation system wiring. And so, you know, when we discovered that they had done that, you know, they came back out here and dug that up. They found where they had done it and with a locator and anyway, they sent a crew of about 3 or 4 guys out here, and it was that summer, man, and it was like 108 degrees or 109 maybe. And one of those guys got a little heat exhaustion, and I had to take him in the house and let him chill out for a while. That summer was brutal.
Yeah, that's about the time frame. It was miserable, man.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. That's what it was. It had those 32 consecutive days of 100. You know, like I said, it wasn't just 100. It was 100, a good 100 degree. Of course, we had a bunch of 100-degree days besides that, but they had 32 in a row. That's tough.
Well, we're at 28 now, and it's going to be like this for several days, all the next week, I think. So, yeah, it's ugly.
And good morning, W5JMW.
Consecutive 100-degree weather?
That is correct. The main streak, July 26th through August the 22nd. Current streak ran unbroken for 28 days.
Good morning, W5.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. W5JMW.
Good morning.
I just hope the winter is not as brutal as the summer has been.
I think it's going to be cold and wet. That Super El Nino, when it gets fired up, it's already on its way in the Eastern Pacific. So they're definitely calling for cold and wet. So I bet you we see snow and ice several times this winter.
Yeah, could be, because you're right. The Pacific has been active for the last, 2-3 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And you know what's weird? I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the mesquites have already, they're already beaned out, and also I got a bunch of acorns coming down off my live oak. This is way early for that.
Oh, yeah? Same with pine cones, actually. It's a little bit early, but hey.
Yeah, we got one pine tree, and you're right. Needles and cones are definitely coming down early.
Twig bee, you call it? Does it get good gas mileage?
Does what get good gas mileage, Jeff?
KFC's new automobile.
Trying to talk to me. I'm sorry, Jeff. I just can't hear you, buddy.
He's asking if your new automobile gets good fuel mileage.
26 miles a gallon.
Roger. Well, that's not bad.
That's about what my half-ton AT4X gets, diesel.
Well, that's double my dually, so I'm tickled to death, and $1.50 a gallon cheaper. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Tammy's car gets really good fuel economy, and like you said, by the time you get the better mile per gallon and pay $1 or less a gallon or more, I imagine there are a lot of diesel vehicles that are parked right now if they've got gas vehicles.
Well, it tell you, to go to Abilene and back in my dually is $35 in diesel. And, time I go to town and do my little bit of running around and, whatever, and I can go back and forth to Abilene because I've been doing it a bunch here since I got this thing for about $11.
What does it cost to get to Abilene and back in Big Red?
$35. It uses at least 6 or 7 gallons.
Really, man, that's a bomber.
How far is it?
It's an 80-mile round trip.
Okay, well, that's about right. It should get normal between 8 and 10 miles to the gallon, so yeah.
Well, not on the highway. My old truck get about 16 miles a gallon, but it's I'm one of these guys that I don't get in anything and it doesn't warm, especially my diesel. I don't get in there unless it warms up for at least 5 minutes before I take off the first time. Not every time, but in the mornings it's running for 5 minutes before I ever even get in it. And then driving around town, of course, then you put fuel mileage stuck, and I never turned it off. It rattles all the time, so that really hurts it. I've got to where I've turned it off more now since this diesel's so high instead of letting it idle. But anyways, it's going to use 6 or 7 gallons minimum every time I come to Abilene.
Oh yeah, for that mileage, yeah, absolutely.
Why is diesel so expensive? And it's persistent. It's been this way for months.
Because people will pay for it.
Well, everybody's paying for it in everything we buy from the store because 98% of what you buy in the store got there by diesel truck.
That is correct, yes. And with as many semis, and of course, I'll say at least 80% of the semis are company, and they use the trucks just go in with a credit card or, put it on account or something, and of course that gets passed on down to the customer, because diesel is the cheapest fuel to make that there is. Very little refining goes into diesel. Diesel is about 3/4 of the way down after you heat up oil, all right, and your panes and teens and stuff go out the top. Then you start coming off as it's heated. This is what you see these large. We used to call them towers, but you could call them separators, whatever. And as this oil heats up, it runs off at various levels based on the temperature, and the diesel is way down the line, and it's one of the easiest things to make.
Yeah, fracking tower.
It could be a fracking. I've heard that term before. We didn't use it that much. We just called them towers. But this was up at Phillips 66, where I worked for years at Borger, Texas. And we just called them towers. But, there's a bunch of names for them. But actually all they are, they just separate the oil. All of your real light stuff goes out the top, and then as the oil heats up, it starts rolling off in the trays. There's trays, and these trays have little bubble caps in them, and the oil pushes up through the bubble cap at a certain temperature, but it can't go to the next level. So it just goes out a pipe that's attached on the side. Of course, it goes into the refining stage then, but basically that's where it comes from. And diesel is way down the list.
I don't disagree with you, but I'll tell you need to do a little research. Diesel is way more refined these days than the old days. Diesel is a very refined deal because they've changed it so much because of the new diesel engines. They won't burn that old stuff. That's why the old diesel would none of this stuff would run very long on the old diesel of those days. Diesel is pretty refined nowadays. It still shouldn't be as high as it is. I agree with that, but yeah, there's a little more to it now than it used to be.
Well, I'm just saying it's not as refined as gasoline. And of course, see, when they first came out, when was this, back in the 70s or 80s with low sulfur diesel? All of your refineries had to adapt to that. And we had a unit there at the refineries. That's all it did was remove the sulfur from diesel. That's all it did. And of course, the sulfur is sold back to the medical industry. And I'm serious. That's where the sulfur, a lot of it comes from. And but they've already recouped their money for that. And I've heard that the diesel, that's why they had to go with the stuff that goes into your exhaust now. The Blue DEF or something?
Yeah, DEF. Diesel exhaust fluid.
Urea.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Hog piss.
I misspoke when I called it a fracking tower. A fracking tower is what you find out in the field that sends high pressure of fluid down into the rock and fractures the rock and lets them pull oil out of a solid rock. That's called a fracking tower. What I was thinking of at the refinery is called a cracking tower.
It's actually a distillation tower.
Part of your cat crackers, cat abbreviation for catalytic. The cat crackers. We had actually 4 of those. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what separates the crude into the different types of fuel.
No, it's the distillation tower that does that, Mark.
Rot gut, which used to be thrown away. We didn't have any source, but in about 2010, 2011, we built another unit that would take that. Well, we could start using the Canadian stuff and overseas, and we would take it and under extreme pressure and heat get everything out of it. The last part of petroleum you can possibly get, and all you have now is coal. And of course, we couldn't use it, couldn't sell it here in the States. But Mexico and China were the 2 biggest customers of that. There must have been 100 freight cars every day go out and head down to the coast, down to Houston where it was going on barges. And you know, people complain. They think the U.S. is the biggest contributor of pollution. They better think again.
Now, Curtis, you said a distillery, a cracking tower, from what I understand, breaks the oil molecule down into all the different types and separates it based on boiling point into all types of fuel liquids. Is that not also what a distillation tower is? Are they not the same thing?
It's called a distillation tower of crude, is what they call it.
Yes, I mean, that's the actual, the true name. And yeah, that's how it works, yeah.
But that's the same thing. A cracking tower and a distillation tower basically refers to the same thing, right?
Don't see anything in the article referring to cracking at all, but it could be.
But it's the price. It should never be. And what's interesting, y'all, is what, about 2010, somewhere in there. Go back and think. All right, prior to about say 2008, diesel was half the price of gasoline. And along around 2007, 8, 9, somewhere right in there was a big push to sell diesel. Shortly after, everyone owned a diesel vehicle at that time. You know, after that, everyone, all of a sudden diesel starts going up.
Supply and demand.
I just asked AI, is a cracking tower and a distillation tower the same thing? It says no. They perform completely different jobs, so you're right.
Well, one of them cracks it, the other one distills it.
Sounds like a big enema to me.
Yeah, crack is what they got on the east side of town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but don't it kind of work in the same principle as others?
A distillation tower uses heat. A cracking tower is a chemical process that breaks down molecules.
Right. They're showing like naphtha's top of the line, then your gas, then your cleaning fluids, then the airplane jet fuel, and then your diesel is right below that.
They're basically doing the same thing, ain't they, Colin?
Well, one requires chemical, the other one just uses heat to boil it off, just like any other distillery.
So, and you know, it's been what, right at $5 or more for what, the last 3 months, I guess.
Every bit of it. You know, it got down. You know, I got excited. I even made a post on Facebook. It was $4.96 there at Clark Road, where Paul knows what I'm talking about. And I saw that $4.96 and got excited about it.
Yeah, isn't that something? And we get excited today with gasoline. You know, when I say we, the public gets excited if it's below $3 a gallon. And what's bad about that is you don't think these companies are monitoring that? You know, really. Well, look, if they're going to get excited at $2.99.9, we'll just leave it there for a year or two.
Well, like I said, Pete asked me this the other day because I just happened to read this and I can't remember the exact numbers. But last year, Exxon's yearly gross was like $7 billion, or profit was like $7 billion. In the first quarter of this year, Exxon's deal is like $14.5 billion in the first quarter in profit.
I'm reading here. I asked AI, why is diesel fuel so persistently expensive? And it says, diesel fuel remains persistently and disproportionately expensive compared to gasoline because of tight global refining capacity. In other words, we only have so much refining capacity, and out of that refining capacity has to come everything we need, lower production yields per barrel of crude, strict clean fuel mandates, and heavy economic reliance on freight and agriculture for diesel that keeps baseline demand high.
Well, yeah, it's supply and demand. That's the whole thing. And we're very lucky so far that we have not had major hurricanes, because every year, right after a hurricane, diesel would go up because of all the construction equipment now that's clearing out the neighborhoods and stuff like that. all of that stuff runs on diesel. And, we're lucky there.
Hello, guys. I got a comment about all this. K5TQQ Crowley.
Oh, Chet.
Go ahead,
Good morning,
Chet.
Chet.
Imagine if you couldn't buy any diesel.
Well,
I
we
got a
did
good
go
yard
back
art
to
armament
horse
then.
and wagon and the old coal train back on 1800.
I could put my dually in the front yard and pile the back end full of dirt and make a flower bed out of it.
Yep, Roger. Well, yeah, my whole point is, at least it's available to buy. So, I gotta check the phone.
Well, right now it is. If I would dare say that if diesel ever gets hard to find, the public will be the first ones that will be rationed. They're not going to ration the freight because that's what food, well, that's commerce. And I just don't see them rationing the freight companies, stuff like that before they do the regular public.
Roger.
Well, didn't there used to be gas rations years and years ago?
They ain't gonna ration fuel. I've been through a fuel ration before. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, we've got plenty of fuel. And you ought to see some of them huge tanks down there in Houston. Let me tell you right now, there's enough fuel in one of those tanks to run for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you ought to watch them fill up the diesel tanks on trains. But that's the most efficient way to move merchandise across the country. Is with
Train, yeah.
What really drove the prices up was lowering the sulfur content of the diesel. Well, the United States is one of the only countries that does that, and that really drives the price of diesel up.
Why do we do that?
Cleaner air.
Well,
Because of the EPA.
yeah, that's right. But that was years ago, and refineries have recovered that cost. But are they going to drop the price? No, because the public got used to the almost doubled the price of diesel, and the public got used to it and paid it. And so, no, why drop it? It's not going to happen.
This AI answer that I read a minute ago, it went into a little bit of more depth later down. It says, also due to seasonal overlap, diesel shares the same distillate pool as heating oil. So high demand periods like winter heating or autumn agricultural harvest tightens inventories quickly.
AM5VO, good morning.
Tony?
Good morning, Tony.
Morning, Tony.
Morning, Tony.
So heads we lose, tails we lose.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I got a good
AI
field, buddies. There's
when the gas and diesel is going to come down.
You do not realize what that does to the world. Just because you work in the patch, and, I know they're giving money away, to all you guys, that does not help anybody except you.
The oil boom for them, but it hurts everybody else.
Man, I've got some good friends that, look, I understand that they're thinking, but I do not. We've gotten big arguments about that. There's no reason for that stuff to be that high. You got guys out there around Midland, especially. They're all buying new houses and cars and boats and new trucks. And I said, in a couple of years, you'll be selling all that stuff because just stop doing that. Stop acting like you're a millionaire. Be like the rest of us. And that $6 gallon gasoline. I shouldn't even got started. That gets me wound up.
This also says that federal excise taxes on diesel are 33% higher than on gasoline.
Yeah, because it's more pollutant.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Oh no.
Well,
we don't have to
down.
cover our eyes and
They
mouth
get found.
to go out, and walk in the streets of a major city. We don't have to, but they do in, well, China, other places around the world. But we're the bad guys. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the EPA, oh my gosh, why, we'd be the only ones alive. We would have killed the rest of the world, obviously.
Yeah, throwing a tax on it don't make the pollution go away.
No, it doesn't.
No, but it does discourage further development of those industries that produce those pollutants, and that's their idea of that. Everything else be damned.
I have seen the Clean Air Act when it wasn't invoked. Brought about that tax, and part of that tax money is supposed to go towards putting preventers and things like that on smokestacks to help clean the air.
I've seen Senator Kennedy, the Louisiana senator, ask one of the EPA guys, how much would it cost to chop U.S. pollution by 80%? 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 17 trillion? And he says, and after we do that, what difference would that have made in the global pollution? 2%.
Well, yeah, and the media is bad, because all of these whenever they show a refinery, all right, whenever the file photo is of a refinery, and you say, oh, look at that white smoke going out, oh yeah, that's CO2. No, y'all, that's steam. Carbon would be black. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I sound racist. No, carbon would be other than white.
Top of the hour, K5TQQ.
That was your 5JMW on the hour.
Take the zero CDP.
K5VO. I think all politics is local, and nobody wants the smoke in their backyard because they got to deal with their constituents and their children breathing in dirty air. So that's why they focus on that.
Oh yeah.
Tony,
but we really don't have that.
Tony, you just always sound so stout. I keep telling myself someday I'm gonna sound like Tony.
Well, fellas, it's been really nice. I've got to go I've got to get out of here and head back to Abilene and in my 26-mile-an-hour hoopty. And I know I keep going on about that, but y'all don't understand. I have never had a vehicle that got this good and make gas mileage. I don't even know how to act at 26 miles a gallon, which is nothing to some of y'all. But I drove nothing but four-door dualies all my life. I mean, since the 80s. So this 26 miles a gallon, I'm loving it. Anyways, I enjoyed the QSO this morning. I wish I could hang around, but I got to go. 73s, everybody. Got to get out of here. K5, KFC, we're clear.
You keep a rubber side down, Mark.
Yeah, see you later. Talk to you later on.
Now we know where that mobile radio stuff needs to go, Mark. Catch you later, guys. I'm out of here too. Y'all have a good one. Hopefully catch you this afternoon. If not, till next time, 73 and 5DUP.
73.
Hey, 73. You have a good weekend.
Yeah, y'all take care. And I'm going to jump out while the door's open. I got a little project to do here in the shop this morning. I got me a little welding table the other day. I need to put it together, get ready to start on a project. So I'll be in and out of the shack. Make sense to you again shortly. KG5MIN.
Catch you later, Jonathan.
Hey, Curtis, y'all got rain
have a safe day
this morning, didn't you?
K1LSB. Hopefully we'll see y'all this afternoon.
Okay, catch you later, Mark. Yeah, we did, John. We got, I don't know how much, but it came through about 4 o'clock. Woke me up at 2 o'clock, had to go disconnect, and then the rain came through a little after 4, I believe it was.
That'd be about right. For some reason, I got up about 4 o'clock and came in here and happened to look on the computer. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty good little sail coming down from Oklahoma, coming right down on top of Wichita Falls. I thought, well, yeah, they're getting a little bit of rain at least.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, my wife was saying, hey, I think we got thunder out there, and I was kind of in a daze, and I finally got out and went out and disconnected everything, then came in here and unplugged and turned everything off. So, anyhow, and then it came through about 2 hours later.
Yeah, and Mark, see you later. Talk to you later on. Yeah, I was hoping it might drift this way, but no.
I was not leaving. I was just saying goodbye to Paul and John.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if y'all want me to leave, I'll go cry myself to sleep.
No, that's okay.
And they said there's a 55% chance of rain for our areas today.
I am not seeing that. I'm looking at lionbastards.com. Wait, no, this is Weather Underground, but Susie calls it it is coming up a little bit.
It's coming into Decatur as we talk.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah?
Did you ever try any of that bag bomb on your head?
No. That is some sticky, greasy, waxy stuff. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it'll work. Just rub it in good. It'll soak right in.
The doctor, she gave me some stuff to put on my head every day. And it's expensive. It's high dollar, but it repairs the DNA. It doesn't just moisturize. It repairs the DNA. She says this is what UV damaged DNA needs. And it's like $60 a tube, like a little smaller than a tube of toothpaste. But she says you need to do this, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Roger.
Thanks for the heads up on the bag bomb.
Roger.
I wonder what kind of DNA they're putting in your salve that you're putting on your head. You might have monkey butt up there before long.
Could be. Or maybe I should just use some of that bag bomb and start making my own milk.
What is this, the hair growth?
No. Tony, I've got skin cancer on my head.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, I think that new Moderna mRNA stuff is supposed to be able to, now I won't say cure, but prevent what's the cancer? The melatonin from coming back.
Well, if it prevent melanoma, you mean?
Yeah, that and other forms of skin cancer as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah?
You know, if you use that bag bomb on your head, you might grow have your 4 tips up there and have your own mouth.
It could happen. Anything's possible.
Yeah, that was that new breakthrough from Moderna the other day that had the stock market shooting up. They released the findings on the new drug.
This is something they've been testing for a long time, and they're finally releasing it.
Yeah, and I think the stock went up 124%.
Did Fauci come up with that drug?
What they said it's been found to be very, very successful at preventing not just melanomas, but other forms of cancers from returning after treated.
That's USL. Hey, Carlos, did Fauci come up with that drug?
Yeah, I heard you the first time. He ain't doing anything right now other than trying to stay out of jail.
Yeah, keep from getting his head
Roger,
shot
Roger.
off.
Well, didn't one of his co-workers or something turn some state evidence or something like that?
Yeah, his head advisor.
Okay, all right.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, he's done squealed. He's turned in and he's sharing all kinds of information.
Oh, man. This is getting juicy.
Oh, and well, yeah, 'cause I think it's Florida so far, and there's one other state, I believe, so far that has filed charges against him. Just have to wait and see, what happens there. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing. When you can afford to bring in, a dozen attorneys, nothing's going to happen.
And here's what I have to say about that blanket pardon. Historically and traditionally, presidential pardons, have been used to absolve someone of a specific crime that they have been convicted of. There is no such thing, or up until Biden came out with those blanket pardons, there was no such thing as a blanket pardon for crimes that someone hasn't even been charged with yet. I expect that those blanket pardons will not stand up in any court.
Well, if they do, then we can expect the next thing to happen. And why not? If you're going to have blanket pardons, then shouldn't you have like automatic jail terms if they've committed, say from 17 years old to 35, this person commits 3 felonies. From 35 to 55, nothing at all, nothing. So, okay, the guy grew up, guy or gal grew up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Learned his lesson. No, we can't have that. We can't have that, no, because we know that he's going to commit a crime. Well, isn't a blanket pardon leading to something like that? I don't know. These blanket deals like that just bother me.
It's not right.